Hoover Institute senior fellow and author of Dying Citizen, Victor Davis Hanson, joins me now. Honored to have you on, sir. I'm so annoyed every time I see the numbers that they're shelling out for garbage.
Well, I live in California, so I'm not unsympathetic. I pay 13.3%, and you can't deduct that with the state and local tax elimination. So most of us, and I'm not a rich person at all, but I pay about 55% in payroll taxes, California state income tax, in federal income tax, and that's not counting property taxes or sales taxes. We in this state have the highest income tax rate, state income tax, highest gas taxes, about fourth in sales taxes, and our assessments are so high, we're about fifth in property taxes. So, and we have about 1%, Carl, that pay 50%. 1% of the households in California pay 50% of all income tax revenue. Wow. So you can see that why 280,000 people have left in the last 80 months, and they're continuing. And with all of that, we have a 20, then 40, then 50, and probably up to $60 billion annual deficit in California.
It's crazy to me, but the problem is, sir, we keep electing these people. Like, I think the next 2024 platform should be, look, the Democrats are going to raise your taxes, Republicans are going to lower your taxes, and then they got to follow through with those promises too.
Yeah, but I think we're talking on the same plane, but we're not. There's a lot of people who are voting for them for a reason. They're not stupid. For example, we let in 8 million illegal entries came under the Biden at $1,000 a month, and that's what it's going to cost for health, education, housing, food, supplements, and subsidies. We're going to spend $100 to $200 billion a year just for this latest influx. They all are going to be Democratic constituents sooner than probably is legal. So a lot of people look at the federal government as a bonanza because they get far more than they contribute. Here in California, we have a huge black market economy, cash economy. So we're not collecting sales taxes on a large percentage of all the revenue that's generated. And those are protected entities. We don't, for a variety of cultural reasons or social reasons or political, we will not touch those constituencies that are dealing in cash.
Yeah, I try to pay cash wherever possible, just so they don't have to hit them with credit card fees or the tax man or anything like that. But listen to Democratic pollster Stanley Greenberg on CNN. He was in the same vein, talking about Biden preaching all of his, like they call it, progress for our economy.
Inflation is like 30 points higher than the next problem. And you can't, what the president currently doing is his tweets always start with, we're making progress, and then he mentions prices. What the president currently is doing is still talking about progress, and you can't talk about progress when 3/4 of the country think we're on the wrong track. So you have to stop on the notion that we're making progress. You have to get where people are.
Well, sir, this came back to like Bill Clinton when he was going a direction, people didn't like it. He changed direction, moderated with Newt Gingrich, balanced the budget. Like, why can't Biden say, hey, 75% of the country doesn't like me, maybe I should change?
Because he's not a Democrat. He's not a Democrat. These are hardcore progressive socialists, and they would rather fail and be ideologically correct than succeed but have to moderate or be ideologically incorrect. And they feel that the people don't want them. Their agenda is unpopular. The president's down to 33, 34, and they're going to put their foot to the pedal, and they're going to say in 5 years, you know what? We got a lot done. We let in 8 to 10 million illegal aliens. We ran up the debt. We have to have higher taxes. We have more subsidies, and they're going to look at this as success. And they're going to say we sacrificed our popularity to change fundamentally the United States. And there's something to that. They have fundamentally changed the country. I go to Home Depot. I can't afford a sheet of plywood or Romex. I had $33 on an old Romex coil before Joe Biden, and I went in not too long ago, about a year ago, and it was $175 for the same piece of 12-2 electrical wire here on the farm. So they've radically changed things, and that's why people are very upset, but they don't care. They really do not care.
Unbelievable. All right, well, Victor Davis Hanson, pleasure to have you on, sir. We do appreciate it.